Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled, You Don't Owe Me Anything, But I Deserve Your Honesty. I've been focusing on something lately, and it's been getting under my skin. Every time I try to have a real conversation with someone, I end up running into a wall. You reach out. You ask how they're doing. You try to keep the line open. Then, silence. At first you tell yourself they're busy. Life happens. But after a while, it becomes clear. It's not about time. It's about effort. You reach out again, asking what's going on, wondering if you did something wrong, if there's a problem that needs to be addressed. You're not looking for drama. You're looking for clarity. You just want communication. Simple, honest, efficient. But instead, what you often get is deflection. They'll tell you you're not owed a response, that they don't have to explain themselves. Technically, they're right. No one is obligated to respond. But that's not the point. The point isn't about being owed anything. It's about respect. What I'm asking for isn't ownership over someone's time. I'm asking for the decency of closure. If you don't want to talk anymore, say that. Don't hide behind silence and call it boundaries. We've reached a strange place in adulthood where people confuse honesty with obligation. They think basic communication is optional. They think that saying, I'm not interested, is too much effort. But what they don't see is that silence doesn't protect anyone. It corrodes trust. There's a difference between thinking someone owes you attention and simply expecting a baseline level of communication. This isn't about entitlement. It's about humanity. Somehow, people have twisted that truth. They think wanting a clear answer means you're needy. They think asking where you stand means you're dramatic. But that's not it. It's about respect for time and emotional energy, yours and theirs. Too many adults act like children when it comes to communication. They ghost, they dodge, they disappear without a word. And when called out, they hide behind self-righteous phrases like, I don't owe you anything. That's not maturity. That's avoidance. Because maturity isn't silence. Maturity is clarity. It's being able to say, I'm not interested, without guilt or cruelty. It's being able to communicate even when it's uncomfortable. People seem to think that silence absolves them of responsibility. It doesn't. It just transfers that weight onto someone else. The person left wondering what happened, what changed, why the air went cold. Communication is the foundation of respect. Without it, everything else crumbles. It's strange how something so basic, like saying you're not interested, has become too much to ask. It's as if decency is now seen as weakness, as if people fear the vulnerability that comes with being direct. But silence is not strength. Silence is cowardice disguised as peace. When I ask someone if they're still interested in talking, it's not because I feel entitled to their time. It's because I want clarity. I want truth. If they're not interested, I'd rather know than be left in limbo guessing. When they respond with, I don't owe you anything, it feels like a wall being built, not out of reason, but out of pride. It's a defense mechanism to avoid emotional accountability. And that's the word for it, accountability. We've lost it. We live in a time where people think ignoring others is a form of self-care, where detachment is mistaken for strength. But ignoring someone doesn't make you powerful. It makes you hollow. Communication isn't about control, it's about connection. When you take that away, you strip life of meaning. It's sad to see how far society has drifted from basic human decency. We shouldn't have to beg for the simplest form of respect, an honest word. It's not manipulation to want communication. It's not gaslighting to ask where you stand. What is manipulative is making someone feel guilty for seeking that clarity. That's gaslighting. When someone twists your desire for understanding into an accusation of entitlement, that's not emotional maturity. That's projection. It's a subtle, sophisticated form of manipulation, making you doubt yourself for asking for something simple, making you feel like you crossed a line by expecting the bare minimum of respect. We've built a culture that confuses self-protection with selfishness. People call it setting boundaries, but sometimes it's just emotional avoidance dressed in self-help language. If we can't say, I don't want to talk, or I've lost interest, we've lost something fundamental. We've lost honesty. We've lost courage. This isn't about winning or losing an argument. It's about being real enough to communicate, even when it's uncomfortable. When someone disappears without explanation, they're not sparing feelings. They're abandoning responsibility. We need to bring back the idea that communication isn't just a courtesy. It's a moral act. It's a reflection of integrity. There's no dignity in avoidance, no strength in ghosting. Real strength lies in honesty. So when I ask someone to communicate, I'm not demanding their time. I'm asking for truth. I'm asking for clarity. I'm asking for the respect that comes from facing a moment instead of running from it. Because in the end, it's not about being owed a response. It's about what kind of person you choose to be. Do you choose silence, or do you choose honesty? That choice says everything. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.